Hello and welcome, everyone.
I am Albert, and this is my charming wife, Anne.
A pleasure.
No doubt we've all heard of the infamous Robin,
You know the legend that he stole from the rich and gave to the poor?
that his ragtag lot of commoners, with their inferior weapons and skills, managed to hold off the unscrupulous Prince John's well-trained and well-armed soldiers long enough for the rightful king to return to his throne.
But there are many uncertainties about the legend as well.
Like when the story took place,
Some say it was during the Crusades.
others argue Robin had defended the throne while the king fought the Normans.
Some say it was the throne of King Richard the Lion-Hearted he defended.
Others say King Arthur.
And there's a question about Robin Hood himself.
Was he man or myth?
And if man, was he one man or the composite of many?
How important is it really whether Robin Hood existed at all?
It is rather the ideals he embodied that are the important thing.
But our story is a departure from all the stealing and fighting and deception that are such a part of life.
Sort of. The story takes place during a time of peace and harmony in the land.
Robin and Marian have been married nearly 20 years.
They have but one child who is about to come of age.
Had enough yet, little John? Ready to concede?
You shan't be talking me out of victory this time, Robin of Locksley. Throw down your pole and confess I am your superior. You shall only receive one dunking in the river.
You speak valiantly for one who is so often here to flood me from the underside of the water.
Not today, you fucked up toad. You shall soon join your brothers for a chorus on the lily pads.
Please, Robin. Enough with the revelry. You know the queen is due this morning, and you must make ready for her.
I am ready as need be, my jolly friend.
Robin, you know I am charged with your preparedness. It'd be a sad day for me if you were to greet the queen in this manner.
Lady Madeline, you fret too much. Have I ever allowed the consequence of my sin to fall upon your shoulder?
You have promised not, and yet it has, for that is my station in this life.
Fear not, Madeline, for quickly approaches our 18th birthdays, yours and mine.
How very true, as we were born but hours apart, and I have been your willing servant ever since.
But when we are both of age, I shall make a gift to you of your own life. You shall be my servant no more.
Robin, what nonsense. Such a thing is seldom done.
Then let us begin a new tradition. Did not my own father spit in the eye of propriety when he stole from the rich to feed the poor?
Aye, but that was a different time, not such as this. The poor are not taxed so heavily, the queen deals with her subjects fairly, and they are able to provide for themselves.
Truer words were never spoken. These are good times indeed.
Good times? All this peace has been mush of men's brains,
Robin.
and nags of women. Why, what good is it to shoot an arrow straight and true, or defeat a foe with swords, or have a gift for strategy when the world is at peace?
What good indeed?
What we need is a good conflict we can sink our teeth into, a battle against the forces of evil that would seek to undermine good.
Robin.
I fear a good conflict you shall soon receive. Your lady mother calls.
No doubt, the queen has arrived.
And you are ready to receive her. It shall be my head, sure as the trees grow in the Sherwood Forest. Robin, there you are. I am dressed. Madeline, I gave strict orders. Robin was to be ready before noon to meet Her Majesty the Queen, who honors us with a visit this very morning. That you did, my lady, and I am a sorry excuse for a servant, and I humbly beg your forgiveness.
It is not Madeline's doing that I am in this state. It is of my own choosing to meet the Queen dressed as I am most comfortable.
My darling Robin, I have told you before, and I am certain I shall have to remind you again, that we of royal lineage usually do not have the privilege of making our own choices. So much of our lives are dictated through tradition and duty. Now, hurry along. At least remove your hood and let your hair down so you'll look more like a young lady instead of a wild forest urchin.
I'd rather be a wild forest urchin. Young ladies never have any fun.
Be that as it may, it is time for you to begin acting as one. Thankfully, your cousins Gilda and Glenda will be here soon. Whereas my attempts have failed, perhaps they can teach you a thing or two about being a lady. Come along.
Poor Robin.
Yes, the responsibilities of royalty are very demanding.
Well, yes, but what's worse is being a girl.
What's wrong with being a girl?
Oh, nothing. I'm rather fond of them myself, but Robin's right. It's much more fun being a boy.
That's true. Boys grow up learning to hunt and fish and fight.
While girls have to cook and clean and sew.
Well, being a girl can have its advantages.
Sure. Well, all I know is I'm glad the good Lord made me a man.
A man, are you?
Well, he's not exactly finished yet.
Come on, we must pay our respects to the Queen.
Please rise. Marian, how well you look.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
And Robin, I see you're still enjoying a life of a forest waif.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Why Sir Robin insists on maintaining a home in this dreadful forest is beyond me.
Yes, Your Majesty. Of course you know how my husband loves this forest and the people who live here.
Yes, but I question the wisdom of raising young Robin here. How is she to learn the ways of the court in the midst of the forest?
Yes, Your Majesty.
Any word from Sir Robin?
His business in the north is through, and he should return very soon.
Excellent. Then he shall be in time for the wedding Sunday next.
There's to be a wedding? How delightful. I love weddings. Who are the blessed couple?
The husband has yet to be selected, but the bride is our own young Robin.
What? How can this be? I am not inclined to be married. Is it so sudden, Your Majesty?
Sudden? According to my calendar, young Robin will be turning 18 this very Sunday. It seems to me a wedding is long overdue. You yourself were already a mother at her age.
Yes, Your Majesty, but Sir Robin and I fell in love so young.
Love? Love has little to do with marriage. Your daughter is of royal heritage. Very soon, I'll be ready to abdicate the throne. I've chosen your daughter to succeed me, but she must bring with her a good marriage to a man of royal lineage.
But you are a single woman, Your Majesty, and you rule the kingdom with great wisdom and strength.
I'm a widow, my dear. There's a great deal of difference.
But I'm not ready to be married. And when I marry, I'd like it to be for love, not duty.
Few royal couples marry for love. I've issued a decree to all the noble houses of England announcing your coming of age. When the young men arrive, you may choose among them.
No.
No?
Robin, it is your duty. You cannot refuse.
I am not refusing, but how can I make a choice among men I don't know? At least let there be a contest, a show of skill. The best archer and swordsman in the group shall win the right to me. Will you agree to this?
As long as the winner is of royal blood.
Of course. So it is agreed then. The winner of the contest takes me as the prize, and no other can protest the outcome.
I see no problem with that arrangement. I shall send word to the princes and lords to come prepared to compete for your hand.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
I'll see you on Sunday then. And Robin, take concern for your appearance. It will be a more interesting contest if the young men are actually putting forth some sort of effort to win the prize.
Oh, dear, I have so much to do. Madeline, help Robin into a gown and do something with her hair.
Well, Robin, it looks as though you're soon to be a married woman.
We'll see about that.
What do you mean? The whole thing's been arranged. You're to marry the winner of the contest.
No, the winner of the contest wins the right to me, not my hand in marriage. You heard the Queen agree to that.
Well, what's the difference?
The difference is the winner doesn't have to marry me, but he or she will have ownership of me.
He or she.
That's right. The winner need only be of royal blood.
You're going to enter the contest to win yourself?
That's right, Friartic. There's not a man in all of England, except perhaps my own father, who could beat me at the bow or the sword.
Well, how are you to compete in the contest? You're supposed to be watching it. That's the tradition.
Don't worry, I've got a plan. Come on, little John, you've got to help me practice.
I cannot believe the gall of our so-called queen. She completely snubs Horvath by passing over him to name that mongrel Robin with long sleeves to succeed her to the throne. Everyone knows Horvath should be next in line. intentions were completely misunderstood. Just whose side are you on anyway? Good, because it wouldn't look good for my sorceress to disagree with me. An apothecary does me no good. I need to harness the greater power of a sorceress. So you just keep practicing those spells in that book I gave you. As much as living in the dungeon with all the rats? Wait. I need to discuss something with you. I've decided Horvath should compete in these games to win the hand of Lady Robin.
It's unfortunate that Lord Horvath can only shoot with a bow and arrow, fight with a sword. We won't have much chance.
Shoot, fight, mother! I still would catch you engaging in such sport, especially not when he's marrying that twit Robin.
You're right, of course. Not you, Papers. It's true my son has never been schooled in the barbaric arts of hunting or combat, but with your help, I think he can still manage to win.
But I don't want to win! I hate that Robin. She's just show off.
But you'll love ruling the kingdom, darling. Anyway, after you're safely ensconced in the castle, we'll ship Robin off to the nearest nunnery. The important thing is regaining control.
But the boy can hit the broadside of the castle wall. I should have shot myself, so I'm the other part of the hunt.
You're not going to teach Horvath to shoot. I've hired someone else for that purpose. You're going to do what I released you from the dungeon for in the first place. Find that book of magic and locate a spell that will keep Horvath's opponents from beating him.
So why don't we just kill them?
You can't do that, darling. Killing them might arouse suspicion. There's really only one who's going to be any competition at all. Prince Gerald of Winterberry. My spies tell me he can shoot and ride and fight like a soldier.
How wrong.
So, Prince Gerald is the one who must focus your attention on. Off you now to work on the spell. And you, your tutor waits in the courtyard. Go.
Can't we just drag these other fellows loose?
Horvath, really? Did you think I hadn't tried that? Now go! A usurper's work is never done.
Oh, Prince Jared, couldn't we rest a spell? I feel as though I've been walking for days.
Ambrose, my faithful friend, sir. We've only just left the shadow of our own castle wall this very morning.
How much better would it have been if we had horses on which to ride into Nottingham, since you're the only son of a king to do so?
Well, we would have had you not to stop sleeping beneath the apple tree when you were to water the horses. They've most likely made their way back to the castle by now.
Do you think the king would be very angry at me?
I think my father will threaten to have your head as he always does when you make a mess of things, Ambrose.
Ah, but you, Prince Jared, will valiantly stand up for me and swear that I am the greatest man you've ever known, and you couldn't meet the end of the day without me by your side.
Aye, Ambrose, 'tis true life would be a dull thing without you keep me amazed. But if I have a wife, where is the place for you?
Why, at your other side, my lord.
But a man with a woman at his one side has no need for a man at his other.
Well, then what is to become of me, Prince Jared, if I'm no more to be your servant?
My servant you will always be, unless and until, as my father promised, you one day save my life. Then your freedom will be granted. But we shall be no more to be a band. For a man's lot in life is to pay whole and strict attention to his beloved wife. There will be no room for folly and frivolity, hunting, fishing, cajoling.
You mean there's no room for cajoling?
No.
Carousing?
No.
And no fishing?
No.
Oh, I'm gonna take my life now. For a life without fishing is not life at all.
Ha! That's where you're wrong, my dear friend.
I am?
Indeed you are.
Well, how speaks you this?
What?
Well, what do you mean?
Think of this, Ambrose. A wife. A woman all your own whose only purpose in life is to keep affectionate attention on you.
Ah, yes, my lord. A beautiful woman keeping attention only on me.
Her soft hands stroking your temple. Her perfume filling your nostrils. Her long, silky hair tickling your cheek. Her soft white shoulders hoisting the water to draw your bath.
She draws my baths.
And when she's freshly bathed, when you're freshly bathed and tucked in warm comfort, she comes to you with a full platter of warm food and drink to warm you within as you've been warmed without.
She's an angel.
But alas, she's not for you.
Well, she's not. And how can she be? Because I can't take a wife.
So, as I see it, there's only one recourse.
One way?
You must be me, and I must be you.
My lord?
You see, if I am you, then I cannot lose the contest for a lady's hand, and therefore my life will be lost to a marriage which is completely bereft of love. And though it's a royal way, it's always seemed far too civilized for proper passion.
Ah, yes, sir. Passion must always be proper. But I'm confused.
It's simple, my friend. One cannot save something which is already lost, correct?
'Tis true.
So, if you could prevent me from losing my life, that'd be good to save me, wouldn't it?
It would.
So, we have just one recourse. You must be me in order to save me from losing my present life to another.
Sir, this makes so much sense, I fail to understand it. I need to sit down.
No, my lord. You need to stand up and put on my royal crest.
No, sir, I really couldn't do that. Your father would have my head.
Ambrose, it'll be fine. You're the worst shot in the country despite all my attempts to teach you. And once you've lost a contest, I can tell my father in all truth that you saved my life. Then your freedom will be granted and you take a wife.
Well, what will you have besides one less servant?
Well, for one thing, I might have my horse a bit longer. And for another, I may be able to eventually convince my father to marry for love and not for duty.
Oh, sir, that's so touching. Is it the fair Irma you have your heart set on?
Irma? Good. Irma's a peasant as truth. I would never marry the likes of her. No, I haven't met the woman I would love. But I know what I do. She'll be some prissy, spoiled princess. So what do you say, Prince Jared?
No, sir, I really couldn't do this. They all see, like, right through me.
Think of the soft hair and long, silky hair and soft shoulders.
Ah, yes.
Now think about shoveling out the stables and doling out table scraps to hounds. So I might have to marry some spoiled princess. That's what your life will come down to.
All right. Ambrose, hand me my royal sash.
Good man, Prince Jared.
Oh, greetings, travelers.
Greetings, we seek the castle of Nottingham.
Ah, we've entered there ourselves. I am Prince Jared, heir to the throne of Winterbury, and this is my humble servant, Ambrose.
Delighted to meet you, my lord. We're the Princes Harold and Gerald, heirs to the throne of Candlewick.
Then it would seem we've come in the pursuit of the same goal.
What would that be?
Why, the hand of Lady Robinhood Locksley, of course.
I'm afraid so. Unfortunately for my brother and I, it is to be a contest in the arts of hunting and warfare.
Although the last time you were in a sword fight, you had your opponent pretty worried.
I did?
Yes, he thought he might kill you.
I recall. I guess you could say that fencing and archery are just not our cup of tea.
Especially for me. I keep seeing spots in front of my eyes.
Have you seen a doctor?
No, just the spots. They developed shortly after I took my job in the circus.
What did you do in the circus?
I was fired out of a cannon.
Sounds like a blast.
It was quite difficult, actually. I was hired as fire the same day.
Do tell.
I wanted to quit, but they wouldn't let me.
Well, why not?
They said it would be impossible to find another man of my caliber.
Well, you two are more like court jesters than princes.
Thank you. Gerald and I have always had a knack for humor.
Yes, I had them rolling in the aisle at last little feast day.
We're developing some material to take on the road.
One moment, gentlemen. If you don't expect to win the contest, then why have you ventured all this way to compete for the lady's hand?
I've been working on this act. It's called Who's on First.
Unfortunately, many people just don't seem to get it.
Just wait until after Doubleday invents baseball.
I'm not sure we can wait that long. I mean, we've got exploration, colonization, several board shows before we get there.
You could be right. Maybe it's time to get back to work on the crusade material.
Probably a good decision.
But still, if you don't have a chance of winning, then why compete?
Our father, the king, insists we come.
He feels it's time we get married.
Of course, that would be extremely detrimental to our act.
I think that's what he's hoping for. Father's never been very fond of comedians.
Yeah, he had his own court jester beheaded.
Still, why compete then?
He feels the exposure will do us some good.
After all, there are certain to be other noblewomen loitering about the contest.
There will, after all, be several eligible bachelors after Prince Gerald here in Robin's hand.
Now, wait a minute, what makes you so certain that I will win the contest?
Don't be so modest, my good man. Everyone knows in all of Locksley, except for maybe Robin of Locksley, no one can shoot or fight like Bonnie Prince Gerald.
But surely there is one among all the princes who is of equal or slightly lesser skill.
Well, there are ourselves, of course. No competition, I'm afraid.
There's Prince Rodney the Regrettable of Woolsey, probably no match for the likes of Prince Gerald.
Of course, there's Lord Horvath, but he's hardly worth mentioning at all.
Now, if it were a competition in needlepoint, it might not do too badly.
That's the point.
Lord Horvath, Lady Robin's cousin?
58 times removed, perfectly acceptable for a marriage.
Well, isn't he that dreadful Prince John's nephew? The one that tried to overthrow the kingdom all those years ago?
Yes, if it weren't for Robinhood, he most likely would have.
Nobody calls him Robinhood anymore. It's Sir Robin of Locksley today, exactly.
An honor you should be to have his good daughter in marriage.
If he wins the contest.
There's little doubt he'll win.
Well, good brother, we must be off. Prince Gerald, do you know where the castle can be found?
I didn't know a castle could get lost.
Should be straight on that way.
Hold, my lord. I'm sure you mean that way, about an hour's walk further.
Thank you, sir. Let's go, Gerald.
Ambrose, this composes a problem.
You're so right. What's baseball?
Not that, Ambrose, but the fact that these comparers won't issue a challenge to me or even to you.
You mean I might win the Lady Robin's hand? Oh, happy day! I'm to be a married man! Soft shoulders, sweet perfume.
No, you are to be a doom man, and me with you if you win.
Wait, what?
Our sham began when we introduced ourselves as each other to those two princes. But a servant cannot marry a royal woman. To impersonate royalty is punishable by death.
Well, now's not the time to tell me this.
Even if it weren't a crime, the Robin of Locksley would surely have both right heads if you win. We best hope that there's another contender that those two comic princes do not know will give you a real challenge.
Aye, sir, let's hope. I've grown very fond of my head.
While Lady Robin completes to win herself disguised as Prince,
Prince Gerald competes for the hand of Lady Robin, though he thinks that his Madeline will like disguised as Lord.
Lady Vendela cooks up a plan of her own, bringing the jilted Irma into the plot.
You know, Prince Gerald and Lady Robin would make a wonderful couple. It's too bad they don't know who each other really is.
You have a talent, my dear, for stumbling across the obvious.
You must create distractions for banquets so that capers can administer the elixir into the goblets of contestants.
Is it certain Jared suffered no permanent damage?
Well, of course, we're certain.
But how am I to distract an entire banquet hall full of people long enough for capers to administer an elixir?
That, my dear, is up to you. You're a woman, use your feminine wiles. In any case, it had better be long enough for capers to finish your work. You can kiss your Prince Jared goodbye.
I'll try to use everyone. Not about you. You must have a plan.
How does it go with the super strength potion you're advising for Horvath?
It's coming along. I think I need to tone it down just a bit, though.
Nonsense. Don't tone it down. Horvath cannot be too powerful.
I don't know, Lady Vendela. The frog I fed it to exploded. I'll tell you when it messed with me up.
I see. Well, maybe tone it down just a little then. We wouldn't want Horvath exploding before he takes over the kingdom. Just a bit of a little humor, capers. Come along, you must ensure all is in readiness.
Tell me the vision seated at the bench yonder is the Lady Robin, and I shall find a way to win the contest tomorrow.
She is a beauty, but pales in comparison to a companion with the raven hair.
Look at my crazy, slipping, or anyone can clearly see the beautiful wall on the far side of the courtyard. I think I should go and make myself known. Is that proper, since we have come for Lady Robin?
Perhaps not, but prudent just the same. Gentlemen? Excuse me,
Yes, my lord?
will you do me a favor and pinch me,
Whatever for, my lord.
so I may know if I am dreaming or not? For a woman of such beauty I've seen before only in my dreams.
You mock me, sir.
Mock you? No. Nor you, yes. What is your name?
It is Catherine, and this is my sister, Elspeth.
Hello.
And our good friend, Rosamond.
Gentlemen.
Meet my brother Gerald.
I hope you do not shrink from kissing.
If I did, I'd be rather small by now.
And our new friend Rodney.
Rosamond is a lovely name.
Thank you.
Catherine, you enjoyed the blast.
Almost more than anything else, but my greatest joy would be to travel.
The travel?
Oh yes, I never set a foot outside these castle walls. I can think of nothing I'd rather do than travel to every inch of England.
It is a dream, it must be. That is my own goal. To travel to every village bringing laughter to its inhabitants. Could it be repeated for each other?
I might think so, as I find you very appealing, but there is a problem.
A problem?
I cannot be parted from my sister, Elspeth.
We've made a pact to travel all of England together.
My brother and I have similar goals. Though as to seeing England, having seen you, I'm sure there's nothing else in all of England worth seeing.
You're a poet, Gerald.
A poet? No, but it is true my heart leapt when I saw you.
You're funny.
My dear Catherine, it is truly Providence that brought me here. Come, let's walk and talk and get to know each other.
Elspeth, will you walk with me in the garden?
Of course.
You know why they call this the Dark Ages?
No.
Because there are so many nights.
Oh!
Aren't you going to ask me to walk with you, Rodney?
I would, but I don't want you to come to any harm.
Whatever do you mean?
Regrettably, my life has thus far been filled with very bad luck. Catastrophe after catastrophe has plagued me since my birth. I wouldn't want a misfortune to affect anyone so lovely as yourself.
Don't worry about me. I've got enough good luck to make up for all of your bad luck.
You do?
Of course. I haven't been sick a day in my life. And I've won the lottery 3 times. Look, it's a gold shilling. You can keep it. I find them all the time.
Let's take that walk, shall we?
Maybe if we spent some more time together, some of my good luck will come off on you.
It would be nice to finally get lucky.
How can I in good conscience marry poor Lady Robin? She seemed a kind and lovely young woman. I feel I do her a disservice. 'Tis bad enough to marry without the benefit of love, but to marry with one is inexplicably drawn to another, even if that other is an unthinkable object of my affection. Still, she must know. I can give you the benefit of that at least. Then if you will still have me, so be it. At least my conscience will be clear.
Don't bother covering your face. I know who you are. Prince Rodney's serving man, Ambrose.
So, you found me out?
I've known you with a sack over your head.
How? We've only met briefly before.
But it was a meeting I'll not be quick to forget.
Nor shall I.
And of course, I recognize your voice and your walk.
Do you think the other princes guessed who I was?
I do not think they are so aware of you as I.
This is good.
No, it is not. Don't you realize the danger you are in? Impersonating nobility?
That danger is not a concern to me.
Well, it should be. Fortunately for you, I am a better archer and swordsman, and will therefore defeat you in the contest tomorrow, keeping your identity a secret. But you must tell me why you are doing this. How can Prince Gerald allow it?
Stay back. I cannot afford you in my vicinity.
What harm have I done thee?
More harm than you can ever know. Now, as I see, you have 2 choices. You can leave things be and let them fall as they will, or you can report my charade and bring punishment on innocent, well-meaning heads. But hear this. I must win the hand of Lady Robin, or Prince Gerald's life is destroyed.
So you've disguised yourself to protect Prince Gerald somehow? Ambrose, you are a good and noble man to risk your life this way, but...
Yes, Ambrose is a good man. A much better man than I.
Huh?
If you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go sleep in the stable tonight. I think it'll be safer.
This is a mystery I must unravel.
Jared, dearest, are you about? Excuse me, sir. I look for my dearest love, Prince Jared of Winterberry. Do you know his whereabouts?
No. Ambrose was just here.
You can keep Ambrose. I'm looking for Prince Jared.
Isn't Prince Jared here to compete for the hand of Lady Robin?
He is, sir, as if it were any of your business.
And isn't he considered a favorite to win?
Of course he is. There's no better sportsman in all of England than my Jared.
If you two are so in love, then why does he come to Nottingham seeking a bride?
'Tis a tragedy. Though we two are in love deeper than the wells of Bath, his father approves of me not and wishes him to marry an heiress.
A tragedy indeed, but one that begins to make some sense.
Some sense, you say? I see no sense in the matter. All I want is for my dear Prince Jared to lose the contest and come back to Winterberry with me. If you see him, don't tell him I'm here. I wish to surprise him. Robin!
Here you are. What have you been about?
You searched for you long. Most likely the thing she is always about, gallivanting through the forest with little John and Friar Tick playing at the sword and bow.
I'm afraid Aunt Marian's hopes that you should be a lady are a bit optimistic.
You seem in a sorry state.
What ails you, dear cousin? Look, get down to the banquet. Did it not please you?
Nothing could please me today, for I have come upon a development that doth delight and distress me dichotomously.
What a dreadful development this must be that causes my lady to alliterate so profusely.
It's to do with Ambrose, the one whose touch did make you quiver,
And make your skin go all tingly?
And your heartbeat flutter?
unless of course you're really suffering from indigestion. He's in disguise as Lord Horvath in order to compete for my hand on the morrow.
How romantic.
How thrilling!
How sweet! How awful!
How awful! To impersonate nobility is punishable by death.
How romantic! Here's to sign for you.
Wow, he was truly lovely.
Therein lies the distress, for it is not me he loves at all. It is his master, Prince Jared.
How is this?
All say Prince Jared is favored to win the contest with me as the prize, but alas, he loves another.
He does?
Lady Irma of Winterberry.
Oh, woe is me! My only love, Prince Jared, loves another?
Ambrose must think he is the only one who stands a chance at besting the prince, so he's disguised himself as a Lord of Farland in order to compete against the prince.
What sweet loyalty he has to his sweet master.
Loyalty and care for his happiness. And it delights my heart that Ambrose's concern for his fellow man goes beyond concern for his own safety.
For the man, there's not been one like him who's Robin for himself. Known the course of Sherwood, Robin the rich care for the poor, at the expense of his own neck, should it be a cause.
But my Prince Jared, how can he love anyone else?
This is not the principal point.
It is to me.
The question is, what can be done now to avert tragedy? It is clear. My intent has changed, but my goal will remain the same. Your goal? I will triumph at the contest tomorrow, not to win my own life, but Ambrose's. And then I must lose him forever, without ever letting him know my true feeling for him, or even that I am really a girl.
Don't be absurd, though. You can't take part in the contest tomorrow.
I can and I will. In fact, I must. But I can't do it without your help. Come along. There's much to do and little time in which to do it.
So, Lady Robin and Prince Jared, in choosing to take matters into their own hands, appear to actually be undermining their own happiness.
It's true. Only they had trusted their elders instead of insisting on having it their own way. Each would have been much happier.
Young people, you try to tell them, but it seems they are bound and determined to make all their own mistakes instead of benefiting from our wisdom.
Now, dear, don't get yourself upset. You were once young and headstrong too, remember?
You still are headstrong.
You are still amazingly beautiful.
I see your eyesight hasn't diminished any.
Prince Jared, being reared with proper values, was having a hard time maintaining his deception of Lady Robin.
He really is a very dear boy, never meant to hurt anyone.
But time was drawing short, and the worst was yet to come.
Lady Vendel's evil plan to sway the contest to Horvath's advantage was about to be set in motion.
Ambrose, I made up my mind. I must confess to Lady Robin my true identity and my inexplicable draw to Prince. It's the only fair thing to do. Sir, please do not. If she finds out the truth, she'll have no choice but to hate us both. And I still hope to catch one more admirable glance from her before I'm beheaded. Perhaps if I come clean with the lady, she'll help us avert your imminent demise. How so? We'll tell her the truth. Doctor DeVitt with some diplomatic omissions that our only purpose in this charade was to save a royal life. Oh, because then she will surmise what she will, and will be courted as heroes instead of cowards and charlatans. I prefer to think of myself as imaginative rather than cowardly, Ambrose. My apologies, sir. Forgive the lovesick rumblings of a lovesick martyr. I would have given my very life for just a moment alone with the beautiful and enchanting Lady Robin. But I am now doomed to forever love her from afar. Since she will be my wife, she won't be that far. Worse and worse, how shall I endure it? And how I don't have a shred of affection for the girl, though she seems pleasant enough. Who would have thought things would wind up so? Oh, indeed.
Fellows,
Have you seen the ladies of the court about this evening?
Not as yet.
Have you so early surmised tomorrow's games that you seek other female companionship?
Regrettably, I have little chance for success in the contest tomorrow.
Why this lack of confidence, Prince Rodney?
I have shot my own foot with an arrow today. Regrettably, my bowstring snapped as I practiced.
This is unfortunate.
Perhaps not entirely so. I plan to pursue a young lady of the court I met this afternoon once the contests are over.
Ooh, is she a beautiful lady?
Beautiful, yes, but her beauty was not her greatest asset.
What, pray tell us?
She is the luckiest girl I've ever met, and she likes me. She gave me this 4-leaf clover.
I mean, if she's to consider you for a husband, that would be a very necessary quality indeed.
And what of the other two gentlemen? Are you ready to do battle for Lady Robin's hand?
Ready, but not willing.
You see, we too have met lovely ladies,
One for each of us.
whose greatest desires are to travel.
They are most sophisticated ladies with a feeling humor.
They laugh at all our jokes.
Your sisters.
They're very close.
They're perfect for us.
And in marrying them, we fulfill our father's wishes and pursue our own dreams of becoming the first traveling stand-up comedians.
We plan to propose to them tomorrow after we concluded the games.
So it appears the real competition will be between you, Prince Jared, and the two masked gentlemen from Farland.
Oh, and what of Lord Horvath?
Yes, you be careful you don't trip over him tomorrow on the way to practice drive.
Well, that'll be little reason for joy when I become Lady Robin's husband.
Especially for Lady Robin.
Good one, Gerald.
Thank you, Harold.
She can score me all she likes from her room in the nunnery. It's just throwing him after and nothing more unless she flatters herself.
Stand your ground, sir. You're speaking of a lady that I love.
Put up your sword or I shall scream from the guard.
Do so, my friend. You'll have your chance at him tomorrow.
We're a fight to the death instead of a battle of skill.
Perhaps that could be arranged. I'd like to have the pleasure of running you all through.
That being a possibility, unless you created some sort of magic formula that magic is turning into a man.
And all of us in the mice.
We shall see what we shall see.
Welcome, guests, challengers to the Lady Robin's hand, and members of the court. The Lady Robin and her attendants will be here presently when we will feast and celebrate. Until then, let us enjoy some entertainment.
Presenting Prince Rodney the Regrettable.
Prince Harold of Candlewick.
Prince Gerald of Candlewick.
Lord Horvath of Nottingham.
Prince Jared of Winterberry.
Lord of Farland.
Prince of Barley.
There's something about this Prince I find familiar.
Perhaps we might have followed your travels.
This is possible, but there's something troubling about him.
Why?
I'm not sure yet, but I'll find out.
Help! Quick, there's a dragon at the gate!
What? Well, sir, is it the Lady Irma that bellows so? Indeed it is. I wonder what brings her here.
Is there a brave man among you who can come defeat this deadly beast?
Regrettably, I've had no experience slaying dragons.
I've never seen one. Kinda hate to see one though.
Guys with the swords, you want to give me a hand with the dragon?
Come along, men. We'll make quick work of this monster together. What brings you here?
You do, of course, darling. Did you think I would sit idly by and let another woman have you?
Irma, as I told you before, you're a fine young woman, but there's never been that special spark between us.
There has for me.
But alas, not for me. You mustn't blame yourself. There's nothing you or any other woman can do to change that. And so I feel it would be best to honor my father's wish and marry the Lady Robin, thus merging our two kingdoms into one.
But what if you lose the contest?
Doubtful.
But if you do lose, would you marry me instead?
It wouldn't be fair to you. I don't love you.
I don't care.
Alright. I suppose I can give it some serious consideration should I lose.
That's all I ask, my dear. You don't know what it's like to want a man like I want you.
Don't be so sure.
I propose a toast to the Lady Robin.
Lady Robin!
Let us have music and dance.
A word with you, Lady Robin.
Of course.
My lady, there are two things you should know before tomorrow's festivities.
Sir,
First, there is every good chance I shall win the contest, and my lady Sam.
there's a chance, yes, but it is not a foregone conclusion.
Highly likely, just the same. In any case, I think in fairness to you, you should know that I have recently discovered. That's to say, I have a concern, more of a dilemma, really.
For goodness sake, spill it.
Alright, I find to myself with no previous similar experience that I'm unbelievably,
Yes?
inexplicably drawn to a man.
My goodness, I was not given to believe that your loyalty went that far.
What?
Your loyalty to Prince Jared.
Oh, my lady, it is not the Prince Jared who I'm inexplicably drawn. In fact, that's the second point.
What is?
I am Prince Jared.
Then who is Prince Jared?
Ambrose.
Ambrose? Heavens, my head is spinning. Why have you pretended to be each other?
Your forgiveness, my lady. I know it was a treacherous act.
Perhaps treacherous is too strong a word.
Despicable at the very least, but it was to save a royal life. I can say no more at this point.
Well, then you must tell me, who is the man you find yourself inexplicably drawn to?
I don't see a point in disclosing that.
Disclose it now, or I will make such a fuss to the Queen about this you will never recover.
Alright, but not a word of this to the man. I fully intend to marry and carry on my family name, bringing honor to my mother and father.
Okay.
Promise?
I promise I shall tell no man of this.
Alright. Is Prince of Farland who I'm inexplicably drawn? Oh, I'm mortified.
And I am elated.
What?
No better news I could have heard than to know that Prince Jared is Ambrose, and Ambrose is Prince Jared, and Prince Jared is enamored of...
Inexplicably drawn?
Fine. Inexplicably drawn to the Prince of Farland.
Why would this delight you, my lady?
Because I'm in fact not.
Sir, something is terribly wrong. Oh, I think I'm gonna be sick. Oh, okay, maybe I'm not.
What has happened?
I don't know. He was enjoying the dance when he suddenly cried out. I'm feeling too well myself. Or do I?
I suspect foul play.
Nonsense. He's simply had too much food and drink.
Take Lady Robin.
I suggest everyone go to their quarters and remain there until the contest tomorrow.
Everything is going according to plan. By this time tomorrow, we shall have the throne. Here's the super strength potion. Add it to your jobs to your morning revolt time. You get a good night's sleep. You'll need all your concentration for tomorrow.
Better yet, I shall add the whole thing.
packed slowly.
Prince Jared slept outside in the stable, while Lady Robin slept alone in her room.
Madeline, Gilda, and Glenda were under guard all night, for their own protection, of course.
But they were unable to get to Lady Robin to tell her about Prince Jared really being Ambrose.
And Ambrose really being Prince Jared.
And of course, they couldn't tell her the best news of all,
The Prince Jared was inexplicably drawn to her.
even though he thought she was the man.
Very strange.
Anyway, when morning arrived, Rodney, Harold, and Gerald could barely get out of bed.
Needless to say, they withdrew from the contest.
Prince Jared was feeling quite up to par. Being a superior breeding, he hung in there getting second to archery competition behind Lady Robin.
Horvath, everyone thought, seemed unusually energetic, but it didn't help his aim much.
He placed third by default.
He was able to hit the haystack once with an arrow.
Super strength potion had rather a strange effect on him.
He grew increasingly stronger as the morning wore on.
As his body grew stronger, his mind seemed to grow weaker, until he developed rather a dementia.
It's been an interesting day here, high atop the kingdom. Prince took an early lead in the archery competition, out shooting Lord with an arrow-sling bullseye that really wowed the crowd.
It was plain to see that Lord Horvath was struggling today on those last 3 shots. It could be that whatever malady has gripped the majority of the contenders, causing most of them to drop out, is also taking its toll on him.
That's true, young man. On an unexpected development, Lord Horvath of Nottingham seems to support his usual amount of energy. He's been seen leaping over the window wall in the courtyard, shouting, "Death to all infidels! Long live the king! And I'm going to Disneyland! Wherever that is!"
That's right, Mother May. Fortunately, Lord Horvath's excess energy isn't helping hit the target much. He still trails the top 2 contenders by several points.
We'll have to make a good showing in the fencing competition to stay alive in this contest.
They'll be tossing for heads and tails momentarily to determine who goes first.
Of course, it's important to note that it's a show of skill only. No sword-to-skin contact should be made.
The judges will be scoring in 3 different areas. Footwork, blade stroke, and quality of insult push. As you know, it's an important part of the fencing competition.
Looks like they're ready for the toss. Excuse me.
Call it.
Tails.
Tails it is. Do you choose to fight first or pass?
Fight.
Are you certain, Lord Horvath? Most who win the toss choose to pass. That way they only have to fight once instead of twice.
I was fighting twice, so I don't have the pleasure of running this oath through.
But Lord Horvath, this is really a test of skill, not a fight to the death.
Accidents can happen.
Robin, we must stop the contest now.
Reveal yourself and choose Lord as your husband before it's too late.
Choosing Lord as my husband would result in his very death.
Oh, I'm sure you'll not be that bad for what Lady Robin.
Not by my hand, you fool. Besides, why would I stop the contest? I'm ahead.
Because Lord Horvath intends to make this a fight to the death.
He can't do that.
Who's to stop him? He's half crazy. Look at his eyes. He's like a madman.
He has not seemed his normal softy self all day. Yet I can't believe he intends to kill me, even if he had the skill. Surely after an act like that, the queen would never grant him the throne.
Perhaps, but you'd be just as dead.
He doesn't want you after all.
This is true. Still, it wouldn't be prudent to reveal myself at this time.
Then allow Lord to precede you in battle. And once Horvath has killed him, the queen will surely stop the contest for breaking the rules.
And breaking my heart in the mix. No, if anyone is to face Horvath in his rage, it must be me. You see the state Lord is in, he barely stands. I will not risk the life of my true love.
True love?
Yes, Lord, who is really Prince Jared's servant man, Ambrose, is my one true love. If he's discovered impersonating a nobleman, it will lead to his very death. The only way I can save him is to face and defeat Horvath, and then defeat him as well.
Are you certain you're doing the right thing, Robin?
No, I can only hope that future history will prove it so.
You'll have to roll the name again to see who goes first.
It is not necessary. I will go.
Are there any objections, Lord?
No objections.
Then let us begin.
Not without the guest of honor.
But of course not. However, now that you are here, we shall commence.
Clear him out for me, will you, Horvath? I'm feeling rather under the weather today. And though I'm sure I get best both of you at the swords, it's somewhat early to not do battle twice.
After I kill the little man, you'll be the next to die.
Now, Lord Horvath. Prince is fairly decent with his sword. Don't let his size fool you. In any case, it's just a harmless game. No one shall die in Nottingham today.
You will and he shall. Insult anyone that stands between me and the throne.
It's good to know you have a good sense of humor, my friend. I think Lord Horvath really intends to kill Prince. Lady Robin, you must stop this contest before Prince is killed.
I cannot stop the contest, removes veil, for I am not the Lady Robin. She's there. This is awful.
This is wonderful. Literally, so much to explain in this knowledge. There's no time now. I'll explain later, maybe. Lady Robin, stand back. I'll dispense with this fiend.
Did I ask for your assistance?
Well, no.
Then allow me to finish my fight in peace.
As long as you're sure you can handle it.
I'm quite sure. Lord Horvath, are you ready to resume?
I'm not sure. I'm feeling uncertain. Give me a moment.
Well, assume that makes you the winner. Unless Prince Jared would like to take you on, of course.
Father, Prince Jared is somewhat incapacitated, remember?
He looks fine to me.
This is Lord, not Prince Jared.
Well, I mean...
Quiet, Ambrose, or you'll get yourself beheaded yet. And after all my hard work to save you.
You took on Lord Horvath to save me? I all this fuss over a mere serving man.
Hush, I said.
This is not some mere serving man, my daughter. Nor is he some lord from some non-existing kingdom. We were some parents pointing him out to me this morning. As we were putting up their horses, we found him sleeping in the stables.
Father? What a great surprise.
You didn't think we missed your wedding, did you?
You are, after all, our only child and heir.
And it's time we had some grandchildren to spoil.
I don't think there's going to be a wedding, let alone grandchildren.
Why not?
I didn't win the contest. Lady Robin did.
Never fear, good people of Nottingham. I, Prince Jared, am awake. Then I found this scoundrel, Horvath, in some strange disguise. But I am now ready to fight for the Lady Robin's hand. Sorry, sir. Sir, it is so nice to see you. What are you doing here? It's such a pleasant surprise. Please don't cut off my head. I've come rather attached to it.
Stand, Ambrose, and receive your freedom.
My freedom?
For service above and beyond the call of duty. For saving a royal life by putting your own at risk. I grant you your freedom.
And he shall have it for as long as it takes me to get into the church.
Lady Robin?
You're mistaken. I am Madeline.
Oh, beautiful lady, I cannot wait until we're wed so you can draw my paths and prepare my wheels.
Yeah, right.
Lady Vendela, come forward.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Obnoxia informed me this morning of your conspiracy against the throne.
Sorry, I couldn't keep quiet about it any longer. I may be a faithful servant, but I know right from wrong.
And you shall be rewarded for your righteousness.
But, Your Majesty, she lies. I would never conspire against the throne, Your Highness. You know me, I would never.
My soldiers will see you out of the country where you will join your brother, Prince John, in banishment. Better yet, off with your head.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Capers, you will return to the apothecary shop where you will no doubt do more harm than good, but you're not likely to kill anyone.
Yes, Your Highness. With pleasure, Your Highness.
Be sure to destroy all references to sorcery in your possession.
Gladly, Your Queenship.
Obnoxia, I am shocked. You should have told me what Lady Vendela was up to.
Well, no matter now. Prince Jared and I will go back to Winterbury where we shall be wed. I think it's time for both of us to settle down.
Lady Irma, if Prince Jared were of mind to marry you, I do not think he would have come to Nottingham in the first place.
This is none of your concern. Go back with your swords and arrows. At least I'm sure Prince Jared wants a real woman, not someone who would clearly rather be a man.
At least I'm not fool enough to insult someone who can beat the living daylights out of me. Unhand me, you scoundrel!
I don't believe that would be prudent at this time, my lady.
Jared, it seems you have a choice to make. Is it your your desire to marry the Lady Irma?
No, my queen. She's not the woman I would choose to marry.
But I would be the perfect wife. It's all I trained for.
So be it. For your part in this scandal, you shall marry Lord Horvath.
What?
Since you so desire the throne, you will both be in charge of one of England's newest acquisitions, located near the North Polar ice cap. It may be the one place where the sun actually sets on the British Empire for several months at a stretch. I'll arrange for you to be married on the ship. You'll leave at once.
Oh, woe is me.
Abaxia, I thank you for your loyalty. You shall have a place in the palace for as long as you wish. Now, let us go enjoy the wedding feast. With or without a marriage, it has been prepared.
It was a cruel trick to disguise yourself as someone else.
Yes, it was.
It was irresponsible, immature, and unbecoming to a future member of royalty.
Yes, it was.
And the worst of it was, I had believed I had fallen in love with a commoner, someone my duty would not allow me to wed.
How do you think I felt thinking I was falling in love with a fellow?
A fellow?
You.
Oh, you were in love with me?
I still am, even though by your own admission you're cruel, irresponsible, immature, and unbecoming.
Oh dear.
What do you say we give them the royal way?
I'd like to think about it for a while.
Take all the time you need.
Maybe in a few weeks.
Or months.
I'm free next weekend.
I guess I could stick around a few days.
Oh, what the heck? The food's ready, the minister's here. We might as well get it over with.